Alright, so there's like a part of the day, like usually it's in the daytime for me, but I like to call it the Battlegrounds craze. And it's like usually when either someone streams, whenever someone like gets a pretty big like shift in the leaderboard, it usually like causes a lot of players to play at once. And I thought I'd show you what it looks like whenever that happens. So we have a whole gauntlet of matches here. We have like matches against Pepe, Trappy, Andrew, Barrelman. Like we got everyone, right? And you're just gonna see how crazy this meta is. I'll just put it like that. So we're gonna get our draft going here. Got Bullseye, got Dust, you know, the usual characters. Actually, Dust isn't really a usual character, but she can still be good sometimes. But yeah, my draft right here is looking terrible, may I add. Like, this is rough. Like, this is actually really rough. Here he gets Bishop and Storm, which is just fantastic. But here I get Mephisto, which is kind of good. I also get, like, I get Killmonger, who's decent, but CGR's right there, so actually he's not that decent. There is Longshot, so I'm gonna go for Mephisto, but also Human Torch right here because of that Kindred. So, this meta, actually no, I go for Longshot, which is honestly the smarter play. But, this meta is very interesting, and by the way, there's Kate Bishop. Super frustrating. Whenever like the opponent gets Kate Bishop like in the final stretch, it's so annoying because she is the best champion in this meta. But this is arms race, right? So whenever you drop a special attack, you get increased attack rating for like each bar of power the opponent has, and it's like up to 200%. So like Kate Bishop, for example, is absolutely crazy for it. So that's why like you see some kind of oddball defenders here. You see like, you know, Red Skull, Dust, just champions that are pretty tanky that can like stall a little bit, because if the defender can't stall, it's gonna be a very fast fight. Like genuinely, like some of these matchups are sub 20 seconds, and you'll see that in this video today. But yeah, let's check out this first fight here. We got Human Torch versus Kindred. Now this is one of the few matchups that isn't like a whole nuke fest. It's kind of a controlled fight, but Torch is still just like an absolute menace. Like he is so good for Kindred. And yeah, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna drop the SP2 in a second. It gets some extra attack rating, but it doesn't really matter for Torch because he is still just melting this guy. And yeah, this fight's about to be over. Go in here, drop the relic, and I get some degen on me, but it's okay because I dropped the SP1 and that fight is done. And you want to see crazy fight times right there, 20 something seconds. He took a lot of damage though, which gave me the win, but yeah, like it's just craziness, to be honest. It's like genuinely so crazy. But now it's time for round 2, and he has all the good ones. He has Kate Bishop, he has Bishop himself, he has Sunspot, Cosmic Ghost Rider. He is rolling with the attackers, and I am not. I have Sunspot and like maybe Longshot, but then again there's Bishop right there, so I can't really use Longshot if I wanted to against like any of those defenders. So here I'm gonna go for Nick Fury, and then you're gonna see just how dumb this meta is. So, you know, Sunspot, he works with prowess, right? Like that SP2, it's prowess based. There is some attack rating from the flare state, but it's mainly a prowess mechanic that makes him hit really hard on that special attack too. So when you add about 200% attack rating, you're gonna see real quick just how crazy he can be sometimes. So let's check out this fight. And yeah, let's see how fast it is, because yeah, fair warning, it goes by pretty quickly. So yeah, blocked hits hurt right there. It's pretty annoying, but it's okay. And guess what, there's some more blocked hits. And keep in mind that Atuma has 1 concussion here, so he's not doing too much damage to me, and I'm doing a lot of damage to him because that one-shot him, and that was a 17-second fight. So yeah, there you go. That's Sunspot this meta. He is one of the best attackers for like Atuma especially, and yeah, look at that. He did 51,000 points and it still didn't give him the win. That's how you know that like this meta is insane. And speaking of like insane stuff, here is like a good solution to having like, here's a good solution to this meta. It's champions that can just do a lot of damage to you with like thorns. So, you know, Sunspot, he's really good for Atuma. Bishop is also good for him, just like not in my hands, however. So yeah, that's why you're gonna see that this just isn't a good Atuma fight, and I'm like just trying to showcase here how Thorns is pretty helpful to like get you wins. Like for Trappy right here, spoiler alert, it did get him the W. So yeah, there I mess up. I go for the parry too early, and then here I just, you know, I go for more parries because I kind of have to, and here I drop the SP2, and it does good damage, but like I took way too much damage, and then I missed a parry right there, and that's also pretty huge, and I didn't get enough regen either. So yeah, that did cost me by like less than 100 points, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so that's just crazy, and like in the end it did cost me that. So yeah, that was a loss overall. This was a loss too, but I want to like show another solution, or like another, like, you know, good option for like defenders, and it's Sasquatch, because of course it's Sasquatch. Sometimes he gets like beat like pretty quickly by like Juggernaut or Sunspot, but if the opponent doesn't have like the best draft out there, anyone else is a bit too slow for Sassy. And he also stops CGR and Kate Bishop, so yeah, he's a massive help for any roster. And yeah, like he's so tanky. He has like almost 500,000 health. He's like a Roma Legends fight. He is a beast when it comes to defense. But Longshot's doing pretty good as well, to be fair. It's just I was, you know, a bit too slow, I guess. And that also just like, that crushed my dreams right there. But yeah, we go in here, we drop the SP1, and it's a decent time for a rank 3 Sassy, but there is Andrew's rank 3 Juggernaut. Really crazy stuff. So yeah, now it's time for the second round, and this is just like the polar opposite of like what I did previously, which is like a bit of a slower fight. This is just like go all in and just try to one-shot him, and I do mess up here. I mean, is it my fault? I think it's like more the AI just being kind of annoying, but yeah, here I go in for a combo, do that, and okay, I missed a parry, yeah, so that was my fault. That was my fault again, as per usual, but yeah, I go back in here, I drop a combo into the SP2, and it does good damage. Yeah, CGR this meta is just kind of crazy. Like, obviously, it's Cosmic Ghost Riders. He's good, like, for any meta. But yeah, here I dropped the SP1, and it's like a 30-second fight still. I played that terribly. Like, I played it really bad, and it was still a 30-second fight. So, that's just this meta for you. And Guardian versus Domino, you know, I've never liked that fight. And I think Andrew, he showed an example why. Because, like, it just doesn't feel super reliable sometimes. But now we have our match against, I'm just going to say Burb, because that's like, it's a really good name. And I want to show one thing here. I want to show a few things here, actually, but you see that Ascended Ronin? I didn't ban it because I was like, I want to see what, like, that Ronin does. And you're going to see that, yeah, it's a beast. Ronin's an absolute beast this meta, because whenever the opponent's, like, over 2 bars of power, like they gain prowess buffs, right? And Ronin with like buffs, he just kind of goes crazy. So yeah, he is really good for this meta. I honestly want to rank him for like a video, but it's like almost the end of the meta, so I might just wait for the next one, unless I want to push C1. I'm not too sure yet, but we'll see. And here he goes for Maestro and also Hyperion, which is a pretty interesting pick. I like it. Like, I think Hyperion with like the SP1 Incinerates, he'll be crazy, obviously. So yeah, I'm curious to see like how he did, but he didn't pick him, unfortunately. And I got a very lucky Mephisto. So one thing about this meta that's really annoying is you can sometimes just win because of your final draft. Because like if like you feel set for the draft and then the opponent on the last pick like of the entire like series gets a defender that like you don't have anyone for, you're just screwed, right? And that's how it is this meta, because some of these defenders, like, they have very few counters. For example, Mephisto right there. So here I go for Mephisto. Actually no, I save him. I actually go for Bullseye first. And he has Onslaught, he has Kate Bishop, he has just those two really. Bullseye's best counter is like Bishop, the mutant one, so he goes for K Bishop, the skill one here, and it doesn't, like, I mean, it's a fine matchup, but it's like very 50-50. And here I go for Kate as well because I don't really have a need for Kate otherwise. And by the way, I kind of messed up here. I only have 2 attackers, and that's not good because if you only have 2 attackers and it goes to 3 rounds, you're kind of cooked. But you know what? I'll just try to make the most of it. But yeah, here is Kate Bishop in this meta. Honestly, one of the best characters. I think she is the best attacker this meta because like she is just so versatile, right? She does get countered by like Iceman, Sasquatch, and all that, but besides like those 2 characters, she is just crazy good for pretty much anyone else. Like, that is 8,000 cold snap damage per tick. Here I mess up. I could have gone for like, you know, a bar of power SP1, but nah, I just didn't do that properly. So like that's kind of a mistake, but it's okay because the fight's over anyway. And it was like what, 31 seconds, 32 seconds. K Bishop can be a lot faster, obviously. I just didn't do that really well, so it is what it is. But I knew that like Kate Bishop versus Bullseye was just not going to be like the best fight out there. So yeah, I'll just skip past that. And I want to show this because he goes for Ronin here. And look at what Ronin does. We're going to skip past the Korg fight because like you don't want to see that. It's just not good. Yeah, I'll put it in like 3 times speed. It's nothing entertaining. He needs synergies and like Battlegrounds doesn't have that, so like he just can't do anything really. But he's cool, he's fun, you know, but just not really anything of like value. But yeah, here I dropped the SP2. Any good damage? No good damage. Alright, it's okay. And here he drops the SP3, but because of the rock shield we actually tank it pretty well. And yeah, we get willpower healing right there. And the fight is now over, I'm pretty sure. Is it? No, because I messed that up. How would I mess up the easiest thing, man? That's just me in a nutshell. But yeah, there is... Look at that. That's honestly, for a Nick Fury, that's really good. Because Ronin usually stun cheeses, but even without the stun cheese, he still does that fight really, really well. Like in 50-something seconds. It's really good stuff right there. But now it's time for round 3, and this is where I get to show you the power of Juggernaut and also the power of Mephisto, because yeah, like I said, if you draft Mephisto in like the final round, the opponent is just kind of screwed. Like they really can't do much, unfortunately. And this matchup though can go south very quickly. That's why I was like I was not confident on the win just yet because this matchup is a scary one. So here Onslaught drops the SP1 and now it's showtime. Get ready for this because it's a really fun matchup. So here we're gonna go in, get the intercept, and now it's just time to do as much damage as possible. Here we drop the SP2, no crits, it's okay. We have a lot of Neuroshocks on us, however, which is super annoying. And yeah, go back in here, drop a combo into the relic, and then we go back in one more time, get the nullify, get the SP2, and yeah, without any single crits on the SP2, he still did a 30-something second Onslaught fight. A rank 3 Onslaught, by the way, which is really, really good. And yeah, Mephisto, he holds the line, and he is just super annoying with like the aura damage, with like the power gain. Yeah, Mephisto, I think, is the best defender this meta by far. Not many champions are defenders this meta, but Mephisto is one of them. So yeah, really, really cool. And so is Burb, really cool person as well. But now I have this match versus Barrowman. You're gonna see why I put this one in here. It's because of that fight right there, Bishop versus Bullseye. I love that fight so much. Like I think Bishop is like one of my favorite characters now because of that fight. He is just so reliable for it. And yeah, you're gonna see why Bishop is one of the best this meta. So here's rank 3 Onslaught and also Sasquatch, and yeah, those are like great defenders, especially like Sasquatch, but Onslaught as well, with like without the right counter, he is really, really annoying. And here Barrowman goes for, I believe, Hulkling. Yeah, he goes for Hulkling. But notice that Iceman's right there. Iceman's usually like one of the best defenders this meta, and for that reason, I did a really fast reroll, and it was not worth it in the slightest because, yeah, I got no Iceman counter, and I go for Dust here, and I also go for, I believe, Hercules, which is okay, but, yeah, not looking too great. Like, I have no Iceman counter, I have a Bishop counter at least, I have no Nick Fury counter, I am just kind of cooked, in my opinion anyway. And he goes for Korg right here. So, what's the game plan? I guess that's like the real question here. Like, what can I even do in this scenario? So, he's gonna place, I believe, what's he gonna place? He is going to place, oh no, I'm gonna place first, actually. I'm gonna place Photon, try to get out Kate Bishop, but he doesn't do that, and that kind of does cost him in the end, but you'll see that later. Here I go for, I believe, Hercules, just because I don't have a reason to use him like anywhere else. So it's kind of like, it's okay so far. Here he goes for Hulkling, and yeah, he could have used Hulkling on like Onslaught or something, but he just didn't, and that did cost him a bit, but this this matchup's like kind of eh. Like, Hercules is good this meta because of, like, you know, him not having any base attack rating increase, so like arms race is pretty nutty for him. Actually no, his feet thing does increase his attack rating. But yeah, I honestly just don't like using Hercules on attack like at all, and it's mainly because like mine's not ascended, so like I just don't really feel that power. But yeah, here I go for a heavy attack in a second, and I guess this is like kind of cool, like the damage output in a second here. So yeah, we go in here, get a combo, get the intercept with the special attack, and like this is good damage, obviously, like not even 2 bars of power like for Nick Fury, and it was still like really impressive. So yeah, like he's good this meta obviously, but I'm just not the best Hercules player out there, which is crazy because like he's usually very easy to play, but not for me apparently. Here he drops CSP1 in my block, which is really fun. And yeah, here I go for the SP2 because I'm like, maybe I get a lucky crit. And then I thought, oh wait, it's Hercules, who like never crits without a precision, so yeah, that doesn't happen. But I dropped the relic, and then I get a crit here, thankfully, and yeah, this matchup is now over, and he crushed it, because that's just Hulkling for ya. Now, I'm a bit worried here, because I do have Iceman to deal with still. However, I do have, you know, a pretty good defense for his attackers, especially because he doesn't really have any counters for my defenders. So yeah, it's looking pretty good for me at least. So here he's gonna place, I believe, Iceman, and I'm going to go with, I believe, Onslaught. Yeah, I go for Onslaught here, and as you can see, he has no Onslaught counter at all, like whatsoever, so we are in a great spot. He has Sasquatch maybe, but that's really about it. So Kate Bishop can do Onslaught, but she still takes some damage, which is like gonna cost him, especially if I use Sasquatch for Iceman. And if he goes for Kate Bishop here, I can just place, like, I don't know, Dust, and just get a pretty convincing win, I want to say, with like Bishop versus Korg or Bullseye. So he was honestly just like a bit out of luck. So yeah, here I go for Silk because I had a feeling that Sasquatch versus Onslaught just wouldn't be a very quick fight, but this would be. However, here's why Iceman is so good this meta, because look at the damage that he does to me. It is a lot, like a lot. And yeah, here I go for a combo. I drop the SP2 in a second, and it does a lot of damage. Yeah, like a lot, but it doesn't one-shot him. So yeah, I took the full cold snap. It was a good like chunk of my health for sure. It was like over a fourth of it. But yeah, that was just that was really fast, to be fair. Like, that was a very fast fight. And Sasquatch versus Onslaught was not as fast, and it also wasn't as healthy, thankfully. So yeah, that was a pretty nice win there. And at this point, I feel pretty good about this because he has Kate Bishop, but I have pretty much all the anti-Kate Bishop characters. So I'm feeling pretty good now. and it is time for the final rounds where I get to show you the fight that kind of inspired all this, really. So he's gonna place down Bullseye, obviously, but I was debating here between Sasquatch and Bishop because like they both counter Kate very well, but it was just like, do I want to use Bishop for Bullseye or do I want to use Dust for Bullseye? And I was like, I'll just use Bishop for Bullseye because I think Bishop is the better counter, like a million times over. So yeah, are you ready for this? I don't know if you are, but you better get ready for it because it is something that is just an absolute thing of beauty. It is so satisfying to watch. So here is how Bullseye gets countered by Bishop. We're gonna go for a parry, and you can see right there that there is no evade. He just like gets stunned passively, and that's just a free opening for us. And then here we go back in, we drop the SP2, we get one crit that is really powerful, and yeah, the fight is now over. So that is just unreal. Obviously, like, you know, he is easily the best Bullseye counter this meta. And yeah, K Bishop didn't do so well versus Sasquatch, but that was to be expected, to be fair. But yeah, that was a really fun fight. I think Bishop is like becoming one of my favorite characters because of this meta. So yeah, like this meta, it's fun, it's frustrating sometimes, but it does have its like benefits, as it did show me the power of Bishop. But yeah, if you want to see more videos like this where I'm just like playing Battlegrounds for the fun of it, let me know. It's like what I enjoy doing. I just enjoy playing Battlegrounds. So if you want to see like, you know, a look at that, then sure, I'll post this like more often. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this video, and yeah, that's about it for me.